Bonjour and welcome to TipToeHooksets. Today we're gonna make a bait. Step one. This is part of my process here. You just find yourself a picture or whatever and draw yourself a fish. That's what I did. Got the top, shape, side profile, big a fish. Same thing. Traced it out. Top, side profile. Good to go. Next step. Get yourself some scissors. Don't mind my broken pink ones. They work. And then just cut it out. Enjoy yourself some scissor ASMR. And just like that, we're done with that one. On to the next, a little faster. These ones, I like to fold in half. I trace out one side, fold it in half. And then when I cut it out, it's even on both sides. As long as you get a good fold, which I don't here. It takes me a minute. The paper wins, I think. Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. But do that, cut it out. You might notice, if you make baits, you're going to notice that I already messed up. Something's wrong, but we'll fix that later. We'll see. You'll see. Now that's done. Put that away. Small one done. Good to go. Now get you some wood. Yeah, big old piece here. This is a fresh piece. I haven't cut into it at all yet. Brand new, ready to go. We're just gonna be for the big bait. We're gonna kind of put everything on there, size it up, get it all ready. Make sure everything's gonna fit nicely. And then, got me another piece of wood. Yeah, smaller. Works. Make sure he fits on there. And it just barely does, which made me happy because that's one less piece of wood I gotta cut out. And now make sure the top piece fits. I always make sure everything kind of fits, so if not, then you're gonna go cut some wood. We're all good there. So now, on to the next portion. Glue. Don't do what I did. I got glue sticks. I have one glue stick. Ugh. Take care of your glue sticks, guys. I left this one in the shed far too long. And it's sticky, but it's not a glue stick anymore. It's more like I don't know. I'm trying to scrape that gross part off. I'm just going to grab and test and see how it works. And it's not working too well at all. Just trying to see what I can do here. Look at that. Sticking, stretching, not glue sticky anymore. It's more just like glue paste, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's one problem. But I don't have another glue stick, so we're going to run with it. And I try to peel some off and just use my finger. It's like we back in school, bro. Just finger glue. I try to just get it on there. You do what you gotta do. You get on there if you can. That's what I did. It'll work. It's messy. And now I know that I gotta go to the store and get more glue sticks. Unfortunately. But glue it down. Some people use spray glue. I used to. I just switched over to glue sticks. It just seemed easier. I don't have to worry about spray over and all that stuff. Now you see here, I put it on the side with a knot. I should have flipped it over and put it on the other side now that I'm watching this back. Then I wouldn't have to worry about that knot. But, oh well, it's already glued down. Big piece of wood. Same thing. Glue it on, If you got a planer, you can plane your wood so it's smoother, flatter. I don't, so I just go with it. Do what I gotta do. You see me struggling some more with this dang glue, man. It just doesn't want to go. So I was like, alright, you know what? No, done. Give up. What do I grab? Spray glue. Shake it. Go to spray. It's nothing. So, And then I gotta put the top pieces on, the top profile. This isn't a in-depth how-to build. This is just me building a bait. You can see the line on top. What I usually do is I'll cut everything out and then sand to that line. That gives me extra space just in case I mess something up. I kind of realized, since the way I did it was folding it, that's not going to work. So now you'll see that line is gone, and I realized the front end, too small. Way too small. Don't like. It's got a good profile, I feel like, but like even the tail part I thought that's too small too. So we got to fix that, and that's what we did. I just thickened it up a little bit, and I'm hoping it works. Well, we'll see when we get to that point. But this piece is garbage, gone. Moving right along. My camera died, so you guys need to see me cut out that piece. But I do got the big one ready here, ready to go. Bandsaw on. Always remember safety first. I need extra light, and I know it looks like my fingertips are getting close. I am very worried about chopping a finger in that blade, so I'm very aware of where my fingers are at all times. And bam, that piece is cut out. Now, I like to drill a hole in it through the eye. It helps me know where my eyes are, while the bait is still flat before I cut out the side profile. Helps keep things, relatively even on both sides. So I just drill past this right through the eyeball. And I'm using a shorter bit, but technically it doesn't have to go all the way through, because I'm going to cut out the side profile and the fish isn't going to be this wide. So it's just got to go through enough. But we do this to the big one and the small one, just so they know where everything is. It helps. That way your eyes aren't like wonky, which on a lot of my baits they are, because I didn't do this all the time, and now I try to do it more often. Same thing on the small one. Blip. Blip. Bam. Alright, so top piece. I normally don't do it this way. I normally put the piece over it and go from there. But I didn't make them long enough. It has to be a little bit longer than the bait in order to work, because the bait like curves up and down, so it just needs to be a little longer. Since I didn't do it that way, I'm going to do it this way, where you just take the pieces you cut off and you slap them on top. As you can see, cut them out that way. It works. It's not the way I normally do it. It might be the way I do it from now on, because it's a little easier, because everything's still flat. And you ain't got to worry about the curve of the bait, because some baits are you're doing a bluegill. They're not shaped like a perch, which is what these are. So that flat bottom really helps too. Well, here I am gluing that on so it stays, because that's the last thing you want to do is start cutting and that thing moves on you, and then you're cutting in the wrong spots. Ooh, bad news. Alright, line her up. is, all cut out. Is it perfect? No. Will I make it work? I hope so. There's a little one. Done. Perfect. No. Make it work. Fingers crossed. We started with our paper cutouts. Went through the process and ended with this. So hopefully, we'll make it work. Yeah. This is my winter project. Small one's just gonna be a little swim bait. Big one's gonna be a glide bait that I want to put more detail in. So part 2 coming soon. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.